Welcome back to the Mike and Andrew Show. I'm Andrew Surwick here with Mike Meredith. Mike, it was a pretty interesting weekend with the Pro Bowl and the NHL All Star Game. But how you doing this evening, man?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, it was an interesting weekend for sure.
Yeah, so let's get right into. I'm gonna talk about the NHL All Star Game for just a little bit here. Or as I should call it, the Austin Matthews dick sucking competition. Dude had 4 points in the two games he played. Meanwhile, DeBrincat had 3 goals, 3 assists, and also the overtime or the shootout winner as well in those two games. But DeBrincat didn't get MVP, but you know who did? The guy who scored less points and didn't really significantly contribute to anything in the games, unlike DeBrincat. But it is what it is. Oh, and then the NHL also says that Matthews is the first star of the week, and DeBrincat is the third star, and McDavid somehow is the second star with less points than either of them. So yeah, make it make sense, NHL. But anyways, it was an interesting All Star games. The skills competitions. Nikita Kucherov, every competition that he was in, just didn't care. He was very blunt with the media, saying that the All Star Weekend is kind of a scam. Really, I mean, the only way to really get tickets is if you're associated with one of the league sponsors, and the whole thing is not for the fans like the league says it is. It's just for their sponsors, and a lot of the players actually agree with him on this. It's just an excuse for them to have a weekend off, really, and just kind of play bullshit hockey and drink with each other. That's really all he said that they do, is they just hang out and drink together. I mean, look, it was the games were all right. I mean, they're your typical, um, you know, All Star games where no one's really taking it seriously because it's no one's trying to get hurt. But man, to act like Austin Matthews was the greatest thing in this weekend is just hilarious. Now I get it, it's in Toronto, so of course they got to make the MVP a Maple Leafs player. But come on now, man, there was like five other guys that were way more deserving to um, win the MVP. Like I said, DeBrincat was one of them. Um, and I forget who was the other one on there, um, that had a really good weekend. Um, Let me see. It was it was Barzal and Forsberg. Um, they just had great performances over Matthews, but Matthews had to win it. But yeah, look, the way things are with the All Star game, I mean, a lot of fans are just sick of it because of the very rigged voting in MVP. Not only that, but just like how hard it is to get tickets, things like that, if for an actual fan. Um, so it's kind of just you know something not very fun, but it is what it is. But in better news, last week we did have a trade in the NHL. Didn't get to really talk about it, so gonna talk about it now. Elias Lindholm was traded to the Vancouver Canucks from Calgary. Calgary gets Andrei Kuzmenko. On top of that, Calgary also gets Vancouver's first round pick, a conditional fourth round pick this year, and then two defensive prospects in Hunter. I'm gonna try to pronounce this without screwing it up. Bruce Twick. No, I'm not even gonna fucking bother. That is a very Slavic name. Let's just leave it at that. And then Johnny Germo as well. Lindholm, 32 points, 49 games this year so far with the Flames. It's his sixth season with the Flames this year. but now he's going to be on a team that's competitive because Calgary's not. So I think overall this is kind of a win for both teams because I don't think Calgary's necessarily in need of a rebuild, but they're definitely in need of kind of a retooling, and Kuzmenko can definitely be a part of that for them. And plus, picking up a first round pick and a fourth round pick and a couple prospects that definitely helps as well. And then for Vancouver, this is a nice win because it adds some depth to the forward position. And it'll basically help their middle six forwards because they'll probably slot in on that second line. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see, but I think this is overall a win-win for both teams. But if I had to choose a winner out of this trade, I'd probably say Calgary actually ends up winning with the long-term benefit of this one. But Mike, any thoughts on All-Star Game or this trade?
Yeah, just what a crazy, crazy game, man. Um, and just, I mean, it's not too shocking what happened there, but yeah, just crazy to see.
Yeah, just unfortunate that Matthews
Yeah,
got the
it's
MVP.
just
But any,
yeah.
any any thoughts on that trade?
Um, I think it's definitely interesting. We'll definitely have to see how it shakes up um, with um, the rest of the league here. How it's going to be. I think it's interesting though for sure. Um, I'm wondering if there's going to be any other big trades come before the deadline.
Yeah, and, I think there will be at least one more big trade before the deadline, but we're gonna see all really the majority of the trades, majority of the big trades, I should say, um, with the what's it called at the trade deadline. There we go. Um, yeah, so I think overall this kind of helps. I mean, this will help Vancouver down the stretch for sure. Getting these trades done early this year, I think is we're gonna see a lot of trades done before the deadline, just because the deadline is so late in the season. It's March 8th, and usually it's February 28th. Um, so yeah, having an extra 8 days for the new players going to these teams, I don't think that's a good thing to have. I mean, they're gonna have 15 games at the very most to get acclimated with their new team. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's really a good thing uh, for anyone. Um, for either the team or the player themselves that got traded. I just having it that late in the season. I don't get it, man. I don't know why the NHL decided to do that. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's way too late in the season. Like, because their season starts like a little bit before NBA, and their trade deadline is coming this Thursday. 15 games is not enough for a team to get uh, changes and accustomed to those changes. It's just too late in the season where, at that point, I mean, why even have the trade deadline? 15 games, man. At that point, just cut it off sooner, I think. I think this weekend or even the weekend after, I think would have been perfect. Right after the All Star break. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, from the trade deadline, there's literally a month left in the season when we get to the trade deadline. I mean, if I remember correctly, like the last week of the season is like I think the first week of April. Let me look at that real quick. Okay, so the last week of the season is actually April 18th. So it's not. I guess it's a little bit. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but still, I think it's way too late in the season at that point. Um, because yeah, you have basically 5 5 or 6 weeks to get acclimated to a team if you're traded on the deadline, which isn't really enough, especially for teams to figure out lines, things like that. So I mean, it's yeah, I don't understand it, but it is what it is there. So, but yeah, that's gonna really wrap up our NHL content for today. But Mike, I got a fun little game for
All right.
us today. Um, ESPN came out with their NFL mock draft. For the first 2 rounds. So basically, I'm just gonna I'm not gonna go over every single pick,
Mm-hmm.
because that'll just I mean we'll be here all night. Um, but I'm gonna give you some trends, give you a couple different picks. You're gonna give me thumbs up, thumbs down, and then you're gonna kind of give me a reason why
All
you
right.
think that pick will or will not happen. So the first 3 picks, you got 3 quarterbacks. So you got Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. Um, I think, you know, this will be pretty obvious, but um, who goes where is kind of the question. And I don't think it really matters because no matter what, if you're picking a quarterback out of those 3, you're going to get a really, really good quarterback. But Mike, what do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down here?
Yeah, thumbs up. I mean, I still think Marvin Harrison is worthy of a top three pick, but it's going to be QBs. I mean, it's a QB league, so I think it's going to go Williams, May, and then Daniels. Is probably my order. I mean, Williams is for sure going number one. It just depends there after that. Um, yeah, I think that's thumbs up.
So I have this as thumbs up, sorta. Uh, I Caleb Williams has kind of said he doesn't want to play for Chicago, and Chicago doesn't even know what they're gonna do with Justin Fields yet. Um, so we could see, you know, Chicago maybe not even draft a quarterback here. So that's the only one I say kind of a thumbs up. Outside of that, yeah, I think Drake May going number 2 to Washington and Jaden Daniels going to New England. Very, very possible. Just kind of depends on what Chicago does exactly with that first pick. Um, so the first 3 picks are 3 quarterbacks. The next 3 picks are all wide receivers. You got they have Marvin Harrison Jr. going 4 to Arizona, Malik Neighbors going to the Chargers, and Romo Dunze going to Washington, or not to Washington, to the Giants. Thumbs up, thumbs down here.
Yeah, so Marv for sure thumbs up. I do like Nabbers there for the Chargers. Roman Dunze, yeah, to Washington. He's solid. There's a lot of talent still left out there at that point, but I think that's all right. I think that's all right for uh, for that spot. But trying to think if there's anyone else I would take clear cut right now, and I don't know. I mean, there's a few offensive linemen that are up towards the top here that I know are pretty highly touted, and uh, the big quarterbacks are kind of off the board. So yeah, I think wide receiver there is fine.
Yeah, so I got this kind of a thumbs up as well. I think Marv definitely could go there. I think if Chicago wants to trust Justin Fields, they take Marvin Harrison first. I really do, but I kind of like this pick for the Chargers. I don't like the pick for the Giants, though. I think they need to get a tackle to protect Daniel Jones because they got Tennessee taking Joe Alt, offensive tackle from Notre Dame, at 7 here. So I think that's a thumbs down for me for at least what the New York Giants are taking. Yes, they need weapons, but I think they really, really need to protect their quarterback because, he's got, you know, tackles blocking John Cena out there. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, First defensive player taken off the board they have is Atlanta at number 8. They have
Uh,
Terrion Arnold from Alabama.
Well, Atlanta needs a QB. I'm gonna already give that a thumbs down. Atlanta needs a QB.
Yeah, I'm with you here. Atlanta definitely needs a QB. So yeah, no, don't take defense when you already have a really solid defense already. You need a fucking quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised to see Atlanta try to trade up. They definitely have some draft capital to do so. Um, and yeah, uh, and then at number 9 here, Chicago Bears. They have if they do take a quarterback, it looks like here they have them taking a tackle, taking that offensive tackle from Penn State, Fashanu. Really,
Mm-hmm.
really solid dude. I think if Chicago does take a quarterback in the with that first overall pick, this is a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, because if they get that QB to get that tackle as well, yeah, him and Joel are clearly the top two offensive linemen. So, yeah, if you're going to take a QB, also get some pass protection, that'd be big.
Yeah. Number 12 here, the Denver Broncos. They have them taking Bo Nix from Oregon. Thumbs up, thumbs down here.
See, I thought that they'd have the Atlanta taking Bo Nix. That's where I've seen him go. So Denver here, so they legit have no faith in Russ. I mean, at that point, they pretty much are saying Russ is gone for sure. I mean, until QBs prove me wrong, I gotta go. I gotta go thumbs up just because the home run you can hit if you find your franchise QB, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, look, the only reason why I think Nix is even in the first round here is just because he put up video game numbers this year in Oregon. I mean, otherwise, I mean, I don't really necessarily think he could he would go and be that franchise guy, but it is a possibility. But here's one that's really mind-boggling. They have at number 13 the Vegas Raiders taking J.J. McCarthy.
No, bro, like I get that Harbaugh's been hyping him up and he just won the Natty, but bro, JJ as an NFL prospect is like maybe a second or third. I'd probably say a third round pick. He should be closer to like a third round pick. JJ is not a first round talent.
I'm giving this one a thumbs up only because it's the Raiders and they always do something stupid. And this is
Facts,
very
man.
something. This is something very stupid. So I'm giving this one a thumbs up because it's the fucking Raiders. This is their mo right here. Um, the only thing that could make this more stupid is if they fucking traded up into the top 5 to get him. That would probably be the only thing that could put the icing on the cake for that one. Um,
Yeah.
14 here. This is a very interesting pick, and I think the Saints would be getting the best overall player, I think, personally, in the draft, and that is Brock Bowers from Georgia. That dude is, I mean, I think overall best player, pound for pound, or, overall pound for pound, he's the best player in the country coming out of college. I mean, he can catch, he can run, he can block. He can do it all, man. I think overall he is the best overall player in the entire country right now.
It's a steal, man, because Brock Bowers was like top 5 projected basically all year. So to get him at 14, man, that's a steal. That is a great pickup there.
Yeah, this is a this is a big thumbs up for me for this one. Going to um, uh, to number 23. Um, the Houston Texans select Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback from Alabama. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, so it's tough with Alabama players. They usually don't have the greatest track record for panning out in the NFL, but you got to get DBs, man. They're one of the toughest positions to hit on, and if you can find a really good DB, man. That's gold, man, because they are few and far between. So I like that.
I like this one simply based on the fact that Houston needs, you know, to upgrade their entire secondary. I mean, that's the problem with that was the biggest problem with their defense. They don't have safeties, they don't have corners, so picking up a corner like Kool-Aid, who isn't necessarily the greatest corner, but he's definitely first round talent. He's not the best corner in this draft, but to hit on him, that would be very good for them. So I think this one's a thumbs up for me. Number 24, Dallas Cowboys take Keon Coleman from Florida State.
Yes, sir. Love Keon Coleman. Um, yeah, I mean, it sucks that's Dallas because I don't really care for Dallas getting a good player, but I like Keon Coleman, man. Love his talent. Thumbs up for me.
Yeah, this is a big thumbs up for me. I mean, Keon Coleman is one of the best receivers. I think he's very underrated in this draft class in terms of receivers. I mean, he's no Maserati or Romo Dunze, but I think he's a top three wide receiver, and I think he's being slept on here. So this is a big thumbs up for me. Getting him going with CD Lamb, dude, man, that would be fucking dangerous.
Yeah, honestly.
At 29, they have the Lions taking uh, Liatu Latu from UCLA. Thumbs up, thumbs down here.
Um, man. Uh, I'll go thumbs up here. I mean, I don't really lean too strongly either one way or the other on this one, but I think that he has talent and can be a good prospect in this game.
I'm gonna say thumbs down only because of the fact he's not gonna be there at 29. I mean, he's the best defensive end in college football. Um, there's no way he makes it out of the top 20. I see absolutely no fucking way um, that he gets out of the top 20. He is just that good. I mean, he's the best edge rusher. I mean, granted, the Lions definitely need an edge rusher. I just don't see the Lions taking him at 29, and I think the only way the Lions will be able to get him is trade up into the top 20. Um,
Yeah.
so that's just me. Um, at 32 here, they have the Kansas City Chiefs taking Xavier Worthy from Texas. Thumbs up, thumbs down here.
Um. Yeah, I think that's a fine pick for sure. So interesting. They have Kansas City at 32. So I guess they imagine they're going to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's
That's
what they're
what they're
saying.
assuming.
Yeah, they're assuming that. Look, I think this is a big W for Kansas City, though. I mean, they need a wide receiver because Kadarius Toney ain't gonna cut it. So
Oh no, he's
yeah,
gone, bro.
they need a wide receiver. Xavier Worthy is another underrated wide receiver. I think he had a really good year in Texas. 60 catches for 750 yards. Um, he that was his average in college. He had at least every year in college he played, he got at least 60 catches for 750 yards or more. So I mean, very good. I mean, like I said, losing Tyreek Hill, getting a guy like Xavier Worthy would be definitely very nice for Kansas City here. So that said, the second round's kind of interesting. At number 42, it's the Vikings. Do you want just take a guess at what player they're going to take at number 42? I'll give you a hint. It is a quarterback.
Is it going to be Michael Penix?
You're goddamn right. It is. They have
I
they
was
have
waiting for
they
it.
have the Vikings taking Penix at number 42 in the draft. Um, it's understandable. I mean, he's not one of the greatest quarterbacks in this draft class, but I mean, if he ends up being a lot better than Kirk Cousins in camp, I see no reason why to not start him. Um, is kind of going to be a hit or miss here. I think it's a very good pickup. As a Lions fan, I really hope to God they don't fucking do this.
Facts, man, because, man, they get Penix, bro, and he ends up panning out. Like, dude, our division's going to be so tough already for years to come. But, yeah, if Minnesota becomes even better, like, yeah, it's going to be tough. Green Bay's going to be a lot better. Chicago's going to be better. Minnesota has Jefferson and Penix. Nah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that would be, and I mean it's a thumbs up pick for me, and just you know face value. As a Lions fan, though, it's a thumbs down because I don't want it to fucking happen because that would be very scary, especially if he hits in the NFL.
Mm,
And then at 61 for the Lions, they have us taking TJ Tampa, corner from Iowa State. I like this pick. He's a very solid corner. And, we definitely need actual number one corner.
yep,
And,
we do.
yeah, so that's a thumbs up from me. Unless we can get a better corner than that, it's a thumbs up still just because we need that position desperately.
Yeah, we need secondaries. So, I mean, we hope he pans out if we are able to get him there. But we at least got to try and draft a corner.
Yeah, is there any teams you want to know what they got in the first two rounds here?
Um, no, I was curious with the Lions. And then, of course, the big name players, which we all went over. I don't think there was any other crazy teams or names that I can think of.
I'm gonna give you just a couple. We're gonna kind of go local here. At number 53, the Eagles taking Junior Colson, linebacker from Michigan. That's a thumbs up pick for me
Yeah.
because Junior Colson is a really, really, really good linebacker. So I like that pick a lot there. Um, 48 Jacksonville Jaguars taking Roman Wilson, wide
Okay.
receiver from Michigan. He had a very good senior day. If he has a really good, combine, I think we could see him go in the second round. I just personally don't think he's. I think he's like a third round talent wide receiver. If I'm being completely honest with you, but it's not a terrible pick for Jacksonville. They definitely need wide receivers, and Roman Wilson can definitely play a role in that offense. So I like that. Number 47, they got the Giants with Seattle's pick taking Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle from Michigan. That is a huge thumbs up for me because that kid is fucking awesome at the defensive tackle position.
Yes, sir. I love Chris Jenkins. Where's Corum going to go? That's the last name that I can think of.
Let me look here. I don't think they have him going in the first two rounds actually, which is actually kind of surprising, considering how good he is. Yeah, they don't have Corum going in the first two rounds, so um, yeah, kind of disappointed in that because he's really really damn good. Um, Yeah, no, they don't have him going at all in the first two rounds, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is there. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, um, that's gonna about do it for us today. Short episode. Um, Thursday, it's gonna be pretty much all Super Bowl unless something big comes up, NHL or NBA. I'm gonna we're gonna obviously preview the game. I'm gonna give some kind of some betting insights coming into the game as well, for anyone that wants to bet on it. Um, there's gonna be it's pretty much just gonna be all Super Bowl though on Thursday's episode. But Mike, you got anything else before we head out of here?
Nah, just, yeah, lots of Super Bowl coming up. Probably see if there's any big trade, the NBA trade deadline, and go from there. It's going to be interesting to see how things shake up here after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and we have MLB spring trainings coming up soon. I believe pitchers and catchers actually report next week, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so that's going to be interesting. A lot of just exciting things coming up. Obviously, NBA trade deadlines coming up. Uh, we're getting closer to that NHL trade deadline, but we're still a month away for now. And obviously, Super Bowl. So, yeah, lots of things to talk about. But again, Thursdays is going to be pretty much all Super Bowl. So, anyways, rate, review, subscribe, help us out. Let us know what more you want to see. And, check out our YouTube page as well. Help us grow there. And thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys on Thursday.